One day I'm gonna figure out how to make this turn out squeaky. Hello and welcome to another Chatty Monday video. I'm so excited. William just left with Billy to go ride the trains and Claire's taking a nap, so perfect time to come and chat with you guys. The main part of this video that I'll eventually get around to is going to be about healthy habits, wellness, the things that I call my therapies, even though I'm not saying to replace therapy if you need it, but I'll get to that later. What's been going on in life? I don't know, we've just been really happy. We're like getting very nice and settled. I love our home, which is a huge thing. It's funny how like my mental state reflects what my house looks like. And I think that's so true with everybody. I just finished my book that I've been reading for the last little bit. It was called The House in the Cerulean Sea. It was just like a hug in a book. And it was just the sweetest thing. It was so predictable. There was something comforting about that. Like, I'm not trying to say it's the greatest literary work out there, but it was just a really nice little read. The romance in it was just so sweet, and it's just about these like kids that are kind of like unlovable by society, but by the end they just all become a really big happy family. So it was really nice. Yeah, I'm just trying to soak up the last little bit of summer. I feel like it's about to come to an end and I'm not ready for it. I don't know, I feel like we're just now getting to the point where we can do all the fun things like camping and swimming and hiking, and Billy's about to have to go back to work, because that's another thing that's been really nice about this last little while is that Billy's had the whole month of work off, just because that's how their music schedule goes. Like, they just get August off, and I'm very scared about it. I don't know how to single parent. Every day we get to the end of the day and we both sit on the couch and I'm like, man, today was exhausting. And we didn't even do anything except like co-parent all day long together. And I'm like, how am I going to do this all on my own where it's me doing everything all by myself? It sounds kind of impossible. We'll figure it out and then we'll go from there. That's all I can do. As we all know, this year was rough, and I just have more of a passion than ever to talk about the things that help you get through the rough times, essentially. Like, those were my lifesavers. I don't know what I would have done if I hadn't have put these things into practice to help me get through the really hard times. Which is why looking after your well-being is the #1 thing that you can do for yourself and for everybody around you. And it is so incredibly important to practice the things that you know will make you feel better in the good times when you might not even necessarily think that you need to. So then you have formed the habit, you know how to make yourself feel better, and then you can fall back on them and prioritize them in the times when it does get hard. It is your flotation device when you are drowning. Like, it is how you get through, because you never know when life is going to knock you off your feet again. It's a big thing to always fall back to the basics, and you need to find out for yourself, like, what are my healthy habits? What is achievable consistently by me? What do I do that makes me feel so much better? Like, figure these things out for yourself so then you can fall back on them when you need to. Like, what are the practices that I can do that instantly make me feel better? I mentioned this a little bit ago, but I actually started therapy for myself, which is something I never thought I would find myself saying. I mean, I'm so glad that I did, and for 2 big reasons. One, it's just a support person. It's somebody to reach out to when you need to talk to somebody kind of separate from your life situation. And 2, they give you tools that are so useful. Regardless if you have a clinical health issue or you are just a human that is going through a hard life right now, therapy is always a good choice. And that's why I'm excited to tell you about today's sponsor, BetterHelp. BetterHelp's mission is to make therapy more affordable and more accessible, which is really important because sometimes neither of those are the case depending on where you live. BetterHelp's platform makes finding a therapist really easy because you just have to go on, fill out a few questions, and then they will match you up to a therapist within as little as a few days. It is so easy to sign up and get matched with a therapist. You can use my link in the description. It's betterhelp.com/loveless. Clicking the link not only help support my channel, it will also give you 10% off of your trial with BetterHelp to see if working with a therapist helps you. And because I think the hardest part about doing therapy is finding a therapist that fits with you, they have a very easy switching option. So if the therapist isn't the right match for you, you can so easily go onto your profile and switch to another one and you'll be immediately transferred to somebody else. I did that myself. And then you don't have to worry about things like insurance coverage or being out of network or anything like that. It is so quick and easy. If you are struggling or you're just looking to make some life changes, consider online therapy. What is it going to hurt? But you can click my link in the description, or again, it's betterhelp.com/loveless. And thanks again for BetterHelp for sponsoring this channel. Okay, so first thing on my list of things that I call my therapies, which again, I'm not trying to say these replace therapy. I'm just saying these are the things that if I'm having a rough time and I actually do them, it's like I have a big sigh of relief after. Wow, I feel so much better. Like I feel like a different human right now. So these are some of those things on my list that immediately make me feel better, and they just make life more wonderful. And again, these are going to look different for everybody, right? But anyways, the first one for me is going to the gym. And I have mentioned this several times. It is so big to me. I don't know. It's just more of a recent realization. I think it comes from the fact that I've actually found something that I really, really enjoy doing. That was a recent find. It was because of my friend that we were living with. She introduced me to powerlifting, and it just makes me feel so incredibly strong. It's very empowering. I think it's a double doozy of like, I can step away from my kids and physically go to a place and have an hour of time to myself, and then I also have this like super ultra productive endorphin releasing activity that is, it's just like this super powerful combo. So I cannot recommend it enough, and I will never stop talking about it. But I know now where if it's been a few days that I haven't gone to the gym and I'm starting to like spiral in my thoughts a little bit, and I just kind of like get stuck on these certain ideas and I can't get past it, and it just gets a little too heavy, I'm like, okay, Billy, I'm gonna prioritize going to the gym. And then I do, and then I just come back and I'm like, oh, that was incredible. I feel amazing. Why didn't I do this sooner? So that is my like number one biggest thing that I can do for myself right now. Next thing, and this is such a like, can you tell I'm a mom? It's taking a shower, because nothing will put you in a lower mental state than actually physically feeling grubby. Like if your hair is greasy, every time you smell yourself, you smell like an onion patch. You don't feel good. You don't feel good about yourself. It's such a simple solution. However, sometimes when you have very little children that depend on you and need you all the time, and it already feels like there's so much in a day and you feel like you can't break away or have any second to yourself, that's when you need it the most. You put the toddler on the screen if you can, or just have somebody watch your kids. Just go take a shower and see how much better you feel. It is such a simple, quick thing that will completely change your mindset and your mood, and you will thank yourself for the few days that it takes for you to take your next one. Next healthy habit that is so big for me is getting sunshine. And it's so easy in the summertime, which is why so many people feel so great in the summer, right? It's nice outside, so you want to be outside. I mean, it's actually coming out that people in like Arizona or Texas, where it gets so incredibly hot in summer that you can't really go outside, they get like seasonal depression in the summertime, which is just like such an odd concept, but it makes total sense. We need the sunshine to make us feel happy. This is like scientifically based. We need vitamin D. There's something so good about getting out in nature and fresh air, sunshine. It's all good. So if I find myself starting to get a little low, then I will try to prioritize getting outside. And it can be even as simple as like 10 minutes, 15 minutes outside. It can be eating a meal outside. And with kids too, it's really nice and easy, because just like take them to the park. It gets all of you out and enjoying the outdoors and the sun, and it doesn't feel like, oh, I have to go and lay on a blanket and read you know, it doesn't feel as impossible a task. Next is talking to your therapist. So if you are feeling so incredibly low, or even if you're not, and you just have a little thing that you want to talk to somebody about, make sure that you have somebody that you can reach out to. The reason that I like BetterHelp is that you can actually message them throughout the week, and then when you have your like weekly session with them, then you can kind of review everything that you've mentioned, and they can still reach out to you all week long. And I think that's true for most therapists. So if you find a therapist that you like better somewhere else, that's great too. Having a therapist and having somebody to help you through, it's a good thing. This next one is tricky because you never notice it happening until it's like too late almost. It's watching your eating habits. When I'm like on top of life and everything feels good, my eating is wonderful. I'm eating like mostly whole foods. I feel lovely. Everything is just vibing and working really well, and I feel really good, like my whole body does. And it's always after a few days of kind of like things are too stressful and everything's feeling hard, I'm not really liking how life is going. That's when I look back and I'm like, oh, I've eaten nothing but kind of like processed food these last few days. I can kind of count on one hand how many vegetables I've eaten, and that's the huge sign to me, like, oh, I need to prioritize eating well, because if I eat well, then I feel good. It's kind of a tricky thing because, like I said, you usually don't notice it until it's gotten bad. but it's okay. Like, tomorrow's another day. You can reset how you're eating, and there's really simple ways to fix it, like just make a meal plan or just prioritize it over the next few days, and then watch how much your mood improves after you eat well for a few days. So this next one, this is an idea I actually got from my therapist, and I've heard this so many times, and I like knew that it would help me, but I've never really actually put it into practice. It is journaling. When I am kind of like swimming in my low thoughts and I'm having a hard time getting out of it, that is when journaling is so valuable. There's something so therapeutic and almost magical about writing down your thoughts and just putting like a pen to paper. It just helps release a part of your brain that you didn't even know you needed to. Next one is huge, and again, this is another one that I just like forget all the time. We as humans, we have to take a break. And again, it's coming from like being a mom of 2 very young kids. You don't feel like you have the luxury of taking a break. However, that's the problem right there. It is not a luxury, it is a necessity, it is something that you need to do. You have to be able to take a break every once in a while, or else you will go crazy, and that's not going to help anybody. So make sure that you prioritize and figure out how many breaks you need in a day. And this is going to look different for different people. Like if you have 6 kids and absolutely no support, it's going to be really tricky to try to find that break. But it is so very, very important for not only yourself, but also your children and your partner and everybody around you. Like, you are a better functioning human if you are able to take a break. So this is another one that I don't know, I go a little bit crazy, and then I go to this one where it's just the simple thing of making sure that I'm working towards something. I think, again, we as humans, we have this like overriding need to be working towards a goal. We just need to feel productive. And it can be something really simple, like finding a new hobby and learning and growing from that. Maybe this is more of having a creative outlet and something that you can kind of pour yourself into a little bit. I don't know why, and this is something that I wish I could learn more about, but we do have this need to be working towards something or to be bettering ourselves, and it's a beautiful part of human nature, but it can bite you in the butt if you don't realize that and accept it and kind of cultivate it. Next one is just a quick and easy one. It is going for a walk. This combines a lot of the different points, but it's like taking a break, you're getting some exercise and movement in, and you're also getting sunshine. So this is such a powerful one that is recommended all the time, but I am saying it again because it is so good. Just go for even a 15-minute walk if that's all you can manage. You can get your kids involved if you have children. And I think this is something that I'm going to have to learn how to do well in the winter here in Vancouver because it rains a ton. Just get the right gear and you can go for a walk. Last is the simple thing of just talking to a loved one. This can be as simple as picking up the phone and calling somebody, or if you can do it face to face, that's even better. There is something so therapeutic about being able to talk to somebody. You are releasing a lot of your problems, you're getting feedback, and humans need social interaction and support and love and community and all of these good things. So making sure that you have your people and that you reach out to them when you need to is huge. And then also make sure that you are that person for other people as well. Making sure that you're not just taking and taking, but you're also giving back, because that's another way to feel good, is giving back to other people. So those are all of my healthy habits, the how to get out of a slump list, the well-being things when you're going through the hard times. It's all the good stuff. And like I said, it's so important to practice these when even you are going through a good time, because then you are in the habit of doing them, and it really helps you when you are going through rough times. So again, these are my things that make me feel better. I would love to hear some of your favorite things. I mean, probably a lot of people have similar things, but if there's anything that you do that I didn't say on this list, feel free to share down below so we can maybe get some more ideas on how to feel better. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!